My name is Hannah. I'm 26, the software auditor, and I live by a very specific rule. Trust the data, not the person. That rule is why I'm currently sitting in a studio apartment I paid for in cash, and why my mother is facing an insurance fraud investigation that could cost her everything. It started at 3:14 a.m. I know the exact time because I'm a light sleeper. I heard the floorboard outside my room groan. The third one from the left. The one my father always promised to fix but never did. I thought it was just Mum getting a glass of water. I didn't realize she was reaching for the key fob to my $98,000 SUV. She didn't steal it for herself. She stole it to help my sister Chloe escape another one of her self-made disasters. By sunrise, that car, the one I'd worked 80-hour weeks for, was a pile of twisted metal on the 1 to 95. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was when Mom looked the responding officer in the eye and said, "My daughter Hannah was driving. She's been so stressed lately." She just snapped. She thought she had the perfect fool girl. She didn't realize I've been playing a much longer game. Before I show you the receipts that made my mother's voice go thin, please hit like and subscribe if you've ever been the responsible child who was expected to bleed so your siblings could stay comfortable. Living with my parents as an adult was supposed to be temporary. I moved back during a transition period, paying them $2,000 a month in rent that I knew was mostly going toward Chloe's credit card debt. Chloe is 24, a lifestyle influencer with zero income and a black belt in emotional manipulation. The tension in that house was thick, like breathing through wet wool. Every dinner was an interrogation about my savings. Every weekend was a lecture on how I should be more generous with my sister. 2 weeks before the crash, I caught Chloe in the garage, sitting in my driver's seat. She wasn't doing anything, just touching the leather, staring at the dashboard. She didn't hear me come in. I saw the look in her eyes. It wasn't admiration. It was ownership. That night, I did something I told myself was paranoid. I owned 2 identical fobs, one for my SUV, and an old, deactivated one from a car I sold years ago. They look exactly the same. I started leaving the dead fob on the kitchen counter and keeping the real one in a locked biometric safe under my bed. I told myself I was being too much. I told myself, it's your family, Hannah. They wouldn't actually take it. I was wrong, but I was also prepared. I woke up to the sound of a high-performance engine roaring to life. My engine. I bolted to the window just in time to see my black SUV peeling out of the driveway, hitting the curb hard enough to send sparks flying. My heart hammered against my ribs. I ran to the kitchen. The counter was bare. The decoy fob was gone. I didn't call the police immediately. I called my mother. She picked up on the first ring, her voice hushed and frantic. "Hannah, don't overreact." Chloe needed to get away from Tyler. She was scared. I gave her your keys. It's an emergency, okay? We'll talk in the morning. "Mom," I said, my voice trembling. "She doesn't have a license. It's raining. That car is 500 horsepower. She can't handle it. She's family, Hannah." Mom snapped. "Stop being so selfish about a piece of metal." Then she hung up. I sat on the floor of that dark kitchen for 3 hours. I didn't cry. I just watched the sun come up. At 6:12 a.m., the doorbell rang. 2 officers. A photo of a wreck that didn't even look like a car anymore. And then, my mother came flying down the stairs. Her hair a mess. Her face a mask of grief. But it wasn't grief for the car. It was a performance. The officers asked who was driving. My mother didn't hesitate. She pointed at me, her finger shaking with fake rage. She did it. Hannah took the car. She was angry because we asked her for more rent. She went out there to destroy it out of spite. My father stood in the background, staring at his shoes. He knew. He let her lie. I looked at the officer, Officer Miller. I saw the pity in his eyes. He thought he was looking at a spoiled girl who'd thrown a tantrum. "Officer," I said, "I'd like you to look at my phone." I opened my security app. I have a biometric lock on my bedroom door. It logs every exit. I haven't left this room since 10 p.m. But more importantly, I'd like you to check the VENG on that wreck. My mother's jaw tightened. "What are you talking about?" "It's your car." "No, Mom," I said. "The fob you took? The one you gave Chloe? That was the fob to your car. I swapped them weeks ago. If Chloe started that engine, she wasn't using my signal. She was using yours. My SUV is currently parked 3 blocks away in a rented garage. That wreck on the highway? That's your Lexus." The silence that followed was deafening. My mother's sick look wasn't fake anymore. She'd just realized she'd lied to the police, tried to frame her daughter, and totaled her own uninsured vehicle all on camera. The police report was a nightmare for them. Insurance refused to pay because Chloe was an excluded driver. My mother is currently being investigated for making a false police report. Chloe? She is finding herself in a tiny apartment while my parents try to figure out how to pay off a totaled Lexus they still owe $40,000 on. I moved out that afternoon. I didn't say goodbye. I didn't leave a note. The silence I left behind was louder than any argument we ever had. People still ask me if I feel guilty. "But she's your mother," they say, as if biology is a blank check for betrayal. My answer is always the same. A mother doesn't build a cage for one child to make the other feel free. A family isn't a hierarchy of needs where one person is the designated sacrifice. This new life is quiet. Sometimes the silence is deafening. But it's the sound of peace, not the sound of holding my breath. It's the sound of my own engine, one that only I have the keys to. For anyone who has ever been the strong one, the responsible one, the designated fixer in their family, I want you to ask yourself, where is the line between support and self-erasure? When does helping become enabling? And when does walking away become the only true act of love you can give yourself? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. There are no right or wrong answers here, just stories. My name is Hannah, and for the first time in 26 years, I'm not just driving. I'm choosing the destination. I'll see you in the next story.